I'm Katherine and I care for Rihanna, who's 22. She has level 2 ASD and PTSD and anxiety and chronic depression. And I also care for Joshua, who's 19. He has level 2 ASD, anxiety, depression.
I'm Dave. I share the caring role with Katherine. We have 3 kids with mental health issues. Ben, he's the one I normally care for primarily. Ben's 20 and he has level 2 ASD, suffers from severe depression and a lot of anger issues with his anxiety and everything.
The amount of lockdowns, the constant changes to what we were required to do, what we were allowed to do, with 3 children with disability, mental health and disability, it was very challenging because our children rely on a certain amount of routine and a certain amount of stability in their day, and having a government law sort of thing put in place constantly that changed from one week sometimes to the next caused a huge amount of anxiety that they would get something wrong. We struggle with getting time for ourselves as a married couple anyway, but not being able to go and have a coffee somewhere outside of our children's earshot, because we can't talk about how we truly feel sometimes in front of our children because it affects their mental health, but we have to be able to express truly how we feel. We spent a lot of coffee dates with takeaway Macca's coffee parked under a tree in a residential street, talking for 10 minutes. That was our outing, which was not really an outing, if that makes sense. Being able to exercise a certain amount of time a day, our children would have a timer to walk around for that time, and if they'd walked an extra street, then they became extremely stressed that they were going to be fined for being out that time. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It created a massive amount of anxiety that was already there. Like they're anxious, they live in anxiety anyway. So this was just compounded. It almost made their mental health under a microscope for them. It made it so much bigger. Every little thing was so much bigger. They just couldn't do, they felt like they couldn't do anything. And that ultimately led to, very quickly, it led to suicide ideation, where it was, what's the point of living if I can't even enjoy my life just this tiny little bit? And it made my life and David's life extremely challenging, because then because it became a topic of conversation on a regular basis of what's the point of living. The suicide ideation, they actually started to make plans. They started to, especially as each month rolled past with a new lockdown, a new set of rules, a new this, a new that.
And so through many of nights, Katherine and I used to have to tag team on suicide watch. So one of us would have to be awake every hour of that 24-period day, which cut down our communication because we had to rest at some point.
If we missed that hour watch, we would lose.
We couldn't afford to have downtime.